Hello, this is Carolyn with Carolyn's Baker Therapy, and I'm finally back to begin on the cover of my Patchwork of Our Lives journal that's going to feature the Quilted Cottage digital kit from My Porch Prints. I've just gotten this all printed out and fussy cut, and everything ready to make it. And I want to make the cover first off, and then we'll start on the signatures. I mentioned before that the background pages, I wanted to use kind of a coffee dyed look, and I found some pages in the Bible memory verse tag kit from My Porch Prints that I used. I discussed in the introduction that I'm using the vanilla wafer box and the measurements that I cut, and I wanted to cover it with this fabric. I didn't measure the fabric, I just laid it underneath here and cut it about the same distance away from the edge all the way around. And I also cut off the corners, so that eliminates some of the bulk here on the inside. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to use this glue stick because I think it'll hold just fine, because I'm going to cover the whole thing up with other things anyway. So I'm just going to start with the glue stick on this one panel here. And just make sure I get it all over. The reason I'm not using liquid glue is I just think it will bleed through the fabric, and I really don't want that. So I'm just going to do that first part and make sure I have it where I want it, and go ahead and press that down. And then I'm just going to bend over the next part and do it this way, so the glue doesn't have a chance to start to dry on me before I get the cover put down. I'm still recovering from a cold, and now, or cold, I don't know what it was, but an infection, sinus infection, and now I'm starting to have allergies to some of the trees that are blooming. I do a lot of gardening, and so I'm outside quite a bit, and it catches up with me. I think my voice has dropped about an octave. Okay. Let's see. And for the rest of it, I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac on the inside. I'm going to glue the corners down first. And most of this on the inside will end up covered with papers. Actually, the outside too, but you'll be able to see this through. So I'm just going to angle this in like this. Okay, then we'll be ready to fold this in over that. So I'll put my glue down. We've been having a lot of storms here, and makes it really hard to do the gardening. I managed to get some people to come and put down some black mulch for me, and everything looked beautiful for about a day, and now all the trees are dropping their seeds, and those are everywhere. But that's okay. That's part of nature, and they will deteriorate over time and be gone. I've just finished a week full of church services for Easter, the week leading up to Easter, and tomorrow is Easter Sunday, and I hope to be able to sing in the choir. I was able to sing Friday, so I'm hoping I'll be able to sing on Sunday. So I got this all down, and we'll come back. We're going to come back with papers on the inside, and to finish up the inside. And I'm going to have this to be, I forget what it's called, invisible binding or something like that, where I go ahead and finish all this, and then the binding, the signatures will be sewn in on a separate piece that'll fit down in here. Now I have selected what I want on the cover here, and I don't have a plan yet, but I have the cover pieces selected. I can find it here just a minute. Okay. I had several different pieces here, trying to decide which one that I like the best, and I believe I like this with the chair with the quilt draped over it. Now I'm not going to glue it on yet because I want to cover this with lace and put some trim in underneath here. So let me figure out what I'm going to do, and I'll come right back. Okay, as you can see, I'm covering up the pink with some pink lace, and but you can still see it through there. I think that's beautiful. And of course, we're going to cover the front and back, at least the front, with the quilt picture here and various other things. I'm leaving this long on the end because I think I might wrap it around at the end to tie a ribbon around as closure. If I decide not to, I'll just cut it off. This, amazingly enough, was a white mantle scarf that I washed and dried, and it turned pink. So I decided to use it on this journal. And I'm just going to use a little hot glue here to glue this down here and there to hold it in place. And then when we glue our papers on, everything will be affixed really well. So I'm going to go through and get this glued down. I have to work kind of quickly. This hot glue dries so fast, but it's much better than using wet glue. I always forget to use my little silicone finger. That helps a lot. I'm sorry about my voice. I know it's not normal, but it's the best I can do, and I'm tired of waiting to do all these beautiful things. I've always loved quilts, and actually kind of collected them for a while. I've had people make them for me. I have some that my grandmother gave me. I have one that I bought in Eureka Springs, Arkansas when I visited there. I have one that belonged to my great-grandmother, or my great-grandmother, I'm sorry. And so I love quilts. I love having them around me. And when I had my antique shop, I had a whole section of quilts. And I actually put a bed in there so that I could decorate it up and, you know, have the quilts fixed up like a bedroom. And one on the wall and different things. It was just beautiful. I always had some in the entryway, draped over some wicker. I miss my shop because I got to do all those creative things with the antiques. I think that might be why I like this style of journal so much, the shabby chic, because that's really a lot of what I had in my shop. We're almost done here. Okay, that's what I wanted right there. And then my idea would be to, you know, the cover of the journal will be beautiful, but I thought this might be pretty to bring up over the edge and then tie a ribbon around the whole thing. So we'll see how that goes. This is the picture I'm going to use. And I do think I'll go ahead and put it down next. Let me get all the glue strings off of me. Let's see. I'm gonna round the edges and ink the edges right quick. I use vintage photo ink to ink the edges on everything that I do. It just takes a second and it makes it look so nice and finished. Gets rid of all the white edges that show. Okay. So we're going to need to center this. Something like that. And I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. And we're going to layer things on top of this, so it's not just going to be plain. The plain picture will layer things on top. And I want to get this glued on there real good to the lace. Okay. I pulled something here. I had an antique shop, but before that, I had a craft shop, and I taught painting lessons and things. It was in the 80s and early 90s in Florida, and we had craft shows and things that we did. And in my shop, I had consignment of different crafters, and I ran across this that was a little pin that someone made. And I've pulled the pin off the back, but this is cut out of a quilt and decorated with lace and little bow and buttons. And I have a feeling that my friend Kathy made this, so I wanted to put this on the cover. I don't know, just kind of thinking about her, and this is going to be a patchwork quilt book, and we'll be talking about the things that occur in our lives that are like a patchwork of different colors, different people, different times, different seasons of our lives that make us the person that we are today. So anything that I can find that is made from a patchwork quilt, and poems and things, you know, embellishments that remind me of my friends, I think is appropriate for this. So this is definitely going to be on here. I just need to put some things around it. And I have all these little fussy cuts, which I'll take a look at. I tell you what, I'm going to shut down here, and then I'm going to pick out everything, and then I'll come back. This will keep the video shorter. Hang on. Okay, I'm back with the layout for the cover. I've decided on this lace for the edge. It's an ecru cotton lace that I get from Amazon. So we'll put that on next, and I want it to kind of overlap on the paper and stick out over the edge. I'll just cut off this little bit of excess up here. I need to put masking tape or something on this table so I know where I am on camera. Okay. Up here in the corner where the window is, I decided to put my heart and some flowers and a butterfly. So let me get my heart down first. I'm excited to use this heart. I've had it many, many years. I'm just going to go ahead and use this hot glue since I have it going here. I normally use my Barely Art glue. This is one of the fussy cuts, and I'll just kind of cut it in half. And then on the butterfly, we want to leave the wings sticking up for three-dimensional look. And then down here at the bottom, I picked out a little kitty cat sleeping on a quilt. And I'm going to put some cheesecloth underneath Kitty, just to add some dimension, make him, her or him show up a little bit more. Now, somewhere on this cover, I'm going to have a saying of some kind. It'll either say journal or patchwork or something like that. I haven't discovered what I want to use yet, but for now, this is our cover. And I plan to come back with something on the edge. I'll just show you something to give you an idea. This is not what I'm going to use, but once I decide what I'm going to do on the back, I will cover the spine with another layer. More than likely that will hang over the edge here. Okay. And I think I'm going to go ahead and select something for the back cover. I just think I want something on the back. Let's put the teddy bear on the back. So I'm going to round those corners also. My dog Biscuit has come to check me out because it's time for him to go outside. So I'm going to finish up this video with this much probably, since it'll make it short, and come back with the inside. Now this is going to go on the back just like I did the front. And I'll use my Fabri-Tac. So this is our cover, and I'll add some more things on there somehow, but I think this is going to be neat to wrap this around when I tie it closed. I'm just going to have a loose ribbon to tie it, or I may fasten it onto here and then wrap it around. This is going to be gorgeous. And remember, we have our signatures all fixed up, ready to go. I just have to round the cover, round the corners, and ink the pages, and then we'll start to fill these up. And then we will fasten them onto a separate piece of cardstock, heavier cardstock, with little flaps out to the side that I'll glue down inside, and then I will do the inside front covers. So these will be in here like this. We'll have the flaps will come out and glue down here so it'll stay good, and then put our cover inside, front and back cover on. That'll be the last thing we do. So there's our cover and back cover. I'll probably put the lace like I did here on this side too. And because this looks so pretty, I may just put the lace down this side also, just to frame the front and the back. And then this will be just pretty like it is, and then I can do a dangle, tassel or dangle or something down the side. So that's all for tonight, and I hope you've enjoyed the video and will be inspired to make something from this kit, or at least get some ideas on some things you can use. Always keep your eyes open for little, for quilts and little pieces of fabric and different things that you can use in your journals. I just have tons of things that my friend makes for me, fabrics that I buy, the quilt squares that you can buy of fabric that's real nice quilting fabric, and it makes all the difference in the journal because it softens up, softens everything up, and instead of just hard paper, you've got lots of layers and soft features. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll be back soon. Remember, every day's a gift. Look for the joy in each day and share it with everyone you meet along the way. Life's too short to be any other way. So I'll sign off for now, and I'll see you soon.